Hey everybody out there in the land of YouTube. This is Annette Dion. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. On this, the first full week, if your week starts on Sunday, of 2024. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Thus far, we made it through the winter storm unscathed for the most part. It was a little sketchy driving home yesterday, but hello. There's a whole lot going on in our country, and we are here to unpack it. And I know that it's going to be a very packed year. I'm glad to see you too. It's going to be a very packed 2024. We were made for these times. We're going to make it through. I'm not going to promise that it's going to be easy. Okay? We'll just leave it there. I did see Donald Trump over the weekend. No, not personally. God, that would be awful. I did see him video of his little snippets of his rallies on Midas Touch. And I don't know why this got me. The whole thing gets me. But the thing that really got me was when I heard him talk about putting his pants on in the morning. I mean, he was just, he's not right. Well, we know that. He was not there. He's not there. I can't believe he's a thing either. I'm just going to ring the bell. I can't believe he's a thing either. You just summed up. Okay, that I could just probably leave after that. I'm complete now. Zircon, you know, sometimes somebody just says something and it sums the whole thing up. I can't believe he's a thing. That might be the theme of my show tonight. I can't believe he's a thing. I can't believe that Trump is a thing. I can't believe he's not rotting in jail right now. I can't believe he's up there saying the January 6th insurrectionists are being held hostage. I thought they were Fed insurrectionists. I thought they were the FBI. What the hell are you talking about? He gets confused in his own lies, and then I heard, by the way, I'm changing what I call him. You'll hear. Stay tuned. And then I heard a little clip. Thank God for Midas Touch. Where would we be without Midas Touch covering everything? There was a speaker of some sort. I had it on in the background earlier, and she was up there talking about at a Trump rally. We have to fight the evil. We have to fight the dark evil in the White House. We have to fight the mermaids and the sea reptiles. Did anybody see this? We'll get into it. What's with the mermaids and the sea reptiles? What are they talking about? Happy Dad Joke Monday. Oh man, I came up with a dad joke. What was it? I saw a dad joke. Should have written it down, Thomas. Did anybody see that? You saw it on Midas Touch. What are these mermaids and sea creatures that they're talking about that are bringing evil to the planet? It is just full on. Hang on. Let me write it for you. Let me write it out for you. I'm going to spell it out for you. It is, wait, I need a marker. In case you're wondering what this Trump thing is. I don't know. I'm going to have to look further into the, I'm going to have to look further into the mermaid thing. And by the way, everything they say is Sharpie time. It is full say these rallies that Trump is having are a cult. It is a cult. It is a death cult. They want war. They want violence. It's a full-on cult. Yes, you joined mid-rant. Because somebody said, Zircon up here said, I can't believe he's a thing. Can you imagine if a Democrat incited a violent riot on the Capitol of the United States of America? Can you imagine what would have happened? Can you imagine? Abby, you saying you might be in the wrong room because I was holding up the cult sign? You want to start a cult? Oh no, I did not see the part in the speech, in the Trump speech where he told the people that they should just get over the shooting. How about starting the Dion cult? We're in it. This is it. But the only thing about here is I will never tell you how you must think. I will never attempt to brainwash you. In Iowa, he said people need to get over the shooting in Iowa. Do you know he called Joe Biden a bastard? I can say that because Trump said it. He said get over the shooting in Iowa. Detached from reality. Yepers. Yeah. James Carville said that we have to mock Trump. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. We do have to mock him. And so that brings me to... Damon's back. Hi! People always miss you when you're not here. That brings me to what I have decided, unless I feel like I'm not sure that you might know who I'm talking about, but I don't see how you could miss it. I'm not going to call him TFG, the former guy. I'm not going to call him the Orange Menace like I borrowed from the astrologer Andre. I'm not going to call him the Orange Cheeto. I'm not going to call him all the other names that we've had for him. There have been so many. Frump and, all that. From now on my channel, you heard it here, January 8th, 2024, Monday, at 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time. From now on, I'm going to refer to Donald J. Trump as the loser. Are you with me? I'm not going to call him the Mango Mussolini. Maybe I'll intersperse it with other names, but mainly I'm going to call him the loser. No, not Voldemort. No, I'm going to call Donald Trump the loser. So when I say the loser, you know what I'm talking about. If you read Mary Trump, his niece's book, that's what he hates the most. That is what he's so hell-bent on. I can't be seen as a loser. He actually, it's such an obsession with him. He actually incited a violent riot on the United States of America because he lost an election and he couldn't stand to be called a loser. So, are you with me? Yes, and that puts our energies on him losing. And we have a lot of work to do on the energetic side of things, which that's really everything. On the energetic side of things, we have loser, and maybe I'll do this sometimes. On the energetic side, this is really important. LOSER. We have to visualize a strong democracy. Oh, Trump was trying to label Biden as Illuminati. I was trying to figure out where that came from. Illuminati, mermaids, and reptiles. Kenneth, can you get to the bottom of that? because this has me in a tizzy. Oh, somebody's asking for a group hug. We'll get to it in a sec. Yeah, Biden called him a loser in his speech, which is why I just went, let's go with that. Out of the mouth of a president, of an actual president. Okay, ready? Group hug. 1, 2, 3. Group hug. I can feel it. I want you to think about democracy being strong and resilient and us winning and all people engaged, full on. People who were Trumpsters saying, I don't think I want to live without freedom. All of it. I felt that group hug too. It was great, Lauren. All of it. All of it. The whole enchilada. I want everybody to see American democracy victorious, triumphant and stronger than it's ever been. I cannot even believe that we are having these, tit for tats, little, spats and discussions in our country about, oh, well, he should be on the ballot. Oh, well, we should ignore what's in the Constitution. I'm sorry. This country was founded on the United States Constitution. It was founded on this. Thank you to whomever sent me a whole stack of these. If you need a Constitution for your pocket, I have them. It's plain as can be, and that's why I was saying, if it were a Democrat that incited a violent riot, a deadly riot on our Capitol, that Democrat would have been in jail on that day. But you know what? Not for anything. But a Democrat wouldn't do that. Yes, Secretary of Defense Austin was, the story of that is, I guess he had surgery and didn't tell people he wouldn't be conscious or that he was going to be in the hospital. That was a weird story. Let's pick 3 cards on how, I'm sorry, I'm taking my boots off. I always do that. I have very warm boots and it gets warm in here. I'm going to pull 3 cards about Iowa and how things actually look for Trump in Iowa. For the loser. Sorry, it's going to take me a while to catch on. He's ineligible to run for office, and here's the thing. He shouldn't be on the ballot in any state, absolutely. Here's the thing. He's still talking about stealing the next election. He's still talking about it. And here's the other thing. During the January 6th insurrection, we were all panicked, like over the top panicked. And over the top freaking out. Not only that there was an attack, but over 3 hours went by and Trump was watching and they were partying under a tent, watching people getting beaten and bloodied and maimed. 3 cards about how he's actually doing. Yeah, a lot of states are looking at deleting him. So you know what? That the states are even looking at it, that many states, and I'll find out next time. I'll tell you how many states are wanting him off the ballot. Yeah. He turned this country into crap. Yeah, so Oregon is looking at deleting him. All right, let's see. I'm looking at Iowa. I just saw the cover of the New Yorker. And I just want to tell you that I know that when I listen to, it might be the most recent, in the past couple hours, video of Midas Touch. Ben Meiselas, remember I said that I stopped watching Morning Joe? Because I got so aggravated with them talking about Biden's age, but I wrote to them every time. And what I wrote was that I don't get my news from here anymore. I go to Midas Touch. And so Ben Mycelis was saying on this video, you may have seen it just over the past couple of hours, that MSNBC is now doing what Midas Touch is doing, juxtaposing, well, you know, like alternating. Here's Trump's speech, if you can call it that, the loser's speech. And here's Biden's speech, the winner's speech. You saw that. Well, then I kind of gave myself a pat on the back. I was like, good job, Annette, good job. Because I can't tell you how many times I wrote to MSNBC and said, cut it out with the Biden age talk. He's doing a great job. Shut up already. I wrote about that so many times. And I would say, I watch Midas Touch. I watch Midas Touch. I'm not watching you anymore. I get my news from Midas Touch if I want the real news. And I said it again and again. The reason I had this shadow here is because, before I read these 3 cards, my niece designed these. I just total flipped subjects because it was just sitting here and it was blocking the light. 2024 lunar calendars. I wrote Hope Restored in the notes because that's the theme for 2024. Support the young artists. She's 21. Anyway, my niece lives in Maine, and these are the lunar calendars. $25 on my website, psychicannetteDion.com. Free shipping. Taking orders now. But it's great because you can tell where the moon is, and we're heading into a new moon on the 11th. And on the 11th, I'm young, but I'm not as young as her. On the 11th, speaking of calendars, I'm having a show with Catherine Glass, the psychic that has as many years experience as I have. We're going to do a show on the 11th, and I'll tell you more about that. That's a new moon, as you could just see. Okay. Yes, Joanna saw that on Midas Touch too. So write to MSNBC. Oh, thank you. I'll tell my niece that you said that she does nice work, Amy. Oh, okay. And that you're an artist. That's right. You did say that. Donald Trump in Iowa. The light will be shown on how people really feel in Iowa. MSNBC had the New Yorker cover. Okay, cool. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. I always forget. And please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to get better about that in 2024 to just remind you. I feel like in Iowa, Trump is going to be teetering. The loser is going to be teetering on the edge of losing. Losing his popularity. Oh, Amy, great. Yeah, Catherine Glass. I'll remind you during my commercial break too. I don't see Trump having any. I don't see the loser having any leverage in Iowa. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing flat. I'm seeing flat line kind of. It's kind of bright. Okay. Let's pull some cards about Nikki Haley. Damon, are you just trying to just razz me? We don't talk about Ivana's coffin here. Oh, thank you to my YouTube members. Thank you for watching my 2024 predictions video. There's one up there that's for free, and there are 2 up there that are for members only. Covering basically the same thing, but with additional info. So become a member at the upper 2 levels. Oh no, become a member at all levels. You get that. You get the video. I'm pulling 3 cards about Nikki Haley right now. The other thing that I heard on MSNBC tonight on Ari Melber was, and we wrote a lot of emails to the media on Thursday and Friday, telling them to stop covering this race like a horse race and to stop covering the campaigns, the presidential election upcoming. Stop treating it as a horse race and cover Joe Biden's speech on January 5th. We all wrote emails, anybody who's in Grassroots Democracy, we all wrote emails. Ashley Babbitt's family is not going to get that settlement. To tell them to stop treating this like a horse race, and then I just heard Ari Melber saying we don't want to treat it like a horse race. You're welcome, Joan. Okay, Nikki Haley she's looking like she has some strength right now. But the men are cutting her down. The men are cutting Nikki Haley down. Yeah, there's a hearing tomorrow in D.C. with the Judge Chutkin regarding immunity. We'll take a look at that. Nikki Haley has some strong support. Well, remember the Koch brothers are funding her somewhat. Ashley committed a heinous crime. That's true. We'll get to that. But the men are going to try to steal this away, steal any gains that the Republican men, the misogynist Republican men. Oh, if you get me talking about Elise Stefanik, I might just blow my top. Okay, so Nikki Haley, the Republican men are going to try to steal her thunder with any gains that she receives. She's going to get, this is very lukewarm. What I got about the loser was also very lukewarm in Iowa. I'm going to read on Elise Stefanik, and I have to go back because Kathy, oh my gosh, Kathy Beal and I went over Elise Stefanik's chart. You think Elise had a makeover? I don't notice those things very much. Republicans don't want women in power. That's what I got. Nikki Haley, just flat. So I'm seeing flat for the loser and flat for Nikki Haley. Elise may have a walk-in. She may have had a walk-in. Let's do this. Yeah. What? And I heard that Elise Stefanik used to be a sane Democrat. So I'm going to ask the pendulum something. Because, the question is out there. What happened to these people? Did they get hypnotized? Are they being programmed by AI? Subliminal seduction or what? I don't get that so much, but I do get that for the Trumpsters. It was Elise Stefanik paid. Is she being paid? Is Elise Stefanik being paid? Well, yeah, but I guess I'm not really being. Her husband is a gun lobbyist. Is that true? I get she's being paid. Let me be more specific. Is Stefanik being paid more than whatever she's earning in her position? Is Elise Stefanik getting paid to take the stand that she's taking? She got bit by the orange vampire. Okay, so it's kind of going around in a circle. And then I'm getting Kevin McCarthy's popping into my mind. Let me move over here a little bit. Did Elise Stefanik get the same kind of offer that Kevin McCarthy got back? Yeah. It's a promise of power. And in my reading yesterday, I did see, just speaking of, the Rolling Stone has an article about Elise Stefanik's husband. Okay, all right. That makes sense. So when I was reading yesterday, those readings that I posted, I saw this year that Kevin McCarthy was going to bring a lawsuit against Matt Gaetz. And Kevin McCarthy, I'm feeling, is in cahoots with the investigative committee, the ethics committee, that are investigating Matt Gaetz. So I feel like when I'm thinking about Elise Stefanik, I get really similar energy that I got with Kevin McCarthy when he went down to Mar-a-Lago. Glory is here. Glory is in the house. Let's read on Elise. Please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, and if you have, thank you muchly. Okay, I'm gonna read on her fate. And so I just want to remind you, the video that we did, Kathy Beal and I, we looked at the astrology of Elise Stefanik. I don't think Kathy's in the house tonight, but if she is, maybe she can remind me of what she saw. No. Elise Stefanik's fate. Warren, don't throw questions like that at me, because it's jumping the gun. Like she's gonna be like, it's jumping the gun. It's just, we're talking about what's going on with Elise Stefanik's energy. I'm not in November. I'm in January. She said she'd be honored to serve any position in the Trump administration. They're calling the January 6th prisoners hostages. Traitorous traitors, treasonous traitorous traitors who are on the enemy side. It is like the Civil War in a certain way. Elise. Oh, okay. Well, this is what's going on with Elise Stefanik. She was told this is what's similar to Kevin McCarthy back last year. I mean, in 2021 when Kevin went to Mar-a-Lago. The threat, it's very cult. It's very cult. Well, Nikki won't pardon Trump because Nikki's not going to be in the White House. They're true to what a cult will do. Elise Stefanik is doing what she's doing because of the fear that she'd be cast out. And a man just crashed into the White House gates. Did that just happen? And he was arrested. That's not the first time. You were annoyed. Oh, Marie, you're being so kind. You were annoyed with Elise Stefanik? She said the word hostage at least 5 times in the interview. And I cannot stomach Kristen Welker, so I would not watch the whole thing, but the little bit that I saw. So Elise Stefanik turned the way she did out of fear of being cast out. When you're in a cult, it's like you're cast out, but I think they say you're marked. I think that's how they say you're marked. It's like you have a black mark on you. Texas alert. An explosion at an historic Texas hotel in Fort Worth on Monday blew out windows, littered downtown streets with large piles of debris. I told you it's not going to be easy. From the building and injured 24 people. That's awful. You guys are giving me all this news. I'm getting overwhelmed. Supposedly that was a gas explosion. Okay. Nikki Haley's on the board of Boeing. Boeing is having more problems. And the window blew out. Yeah, a blown out door. I thought it was a window. Back to Elise Stefanik. The reason she did the turn was that she felt like she'd be cast out of the cult. And she feels like it will give her money and prestige to follow Trump. Now, this is the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Cups, but where she's going to realize that it's not going to change her But Joe Biden has the goods. And she's over here going for the money, but Joe Biden has the stats and the success. But Elise Stefanik did that turn, that's what I'm asking about, because she was afraid of being cast out. There were no aliens in Miami either. Yeah. Here's the thing. The loser cult, the cult of losers, I'm only saying that. They're not really that. They're just misled. But the cult that follows, that has a leader that's the big loser, most of them are lonely and they need to feel like they belong to something. So let's make some nice clubs that people want to join. Like we have a nice club here. Mike Johnson is next on the docket. Mike Johnson, we're going to see a lot more of him this month. I know, we don't want to. Mike Johnson. I'm going to pull 3 cards. I'm going to say, is he going to be held accountable for his crimes? I don't even know why I'm saying that. It just popped out of my mouth. Is Mike Johnson going to be held accountable for his crimes? And then it occurred to me, I don't even know what crimes I'm talking about. But apparently there are crimes. Maria's saying she's always avoided cults because of the Stepford Wives. That's not really the same thing. That's not really the same thing. Yes, Mike Johnson is a closet case and an oppressor, yes. It's going to be an emotional time for Mike Johnson. He's going to have trouble hanging on. It's going to be an emotional time. He's going to keep trying to hang on. He's being funded. Will it be found out? Well, I do see him, I see Mike Johnson extremely uncomfortable and sweating. And just kind of doing his best to hang on. But Mike Johnson, extremely uncomfortable and sweating. I feel like we're going to hear something either the end of this week or the start of next week about Mike Johnson. So, yeah, he's I have this sense about Mike Johnson that it's like he's trying to walk on hot coals or something, not successfully. United Airlines finds loose bolts on... Zircon said, rather be alone than be in a cult. I don't know. That need to be in a group is kind of, I mean, aside from the isolation tendency that comes with repressed trauma, we are wired to be in community. We're wired to connect. We're wired to be in groups. So if that need's not being met, somebody who's feeling vulnerable and gullible, and who is gullible, will get sucked right into a cult. And will feel like they have all the support because they belong to something. Across the board. It's the way it is. So let's take a look at the Democrats. What do you say we take a look at the Democrats? But before I do that, because people are up there defending that they just want to be away from everybody, we like our space, we like to do what we want to do, but we are, we want to engage with life, we want to engage with people. Right? I just think it's very, very sad when people go, no, I'm not going out there. It's very sad. Let's look at the Democrats. The Democrats and children of the corn. All right, I'm going to focus, I promise. Where's the moon today? And Sagittarius, yeah, figures. The Democrats, the Democratic Party. I'm looking forward to the Democrats coming back swinging, metaphorically speaking. And all the Democrats in office that are knocking it out of the park, I think we should write fan letters to them. I think we should write fan letters to them. They're working on the messaging. They're working on the messaging. I happened to catch Joe Biden was giving a talk today, and I noticed that Joe Biden was hitting all the same points that he hit on January 5th in his very, very, very powerful speech. And Kalani's saying the same thing that I'm saying. The messaging is it's gonna pick up with the Democrats. There's a lot of abundance and a lot of positives to focus on for the Democrats. I feel like Kamala Harris is going to be out there more and more being a spokesperson for the Democratic Party, for Joe Biden. I think the Democrats are in sync too. I agree with that. I need to be drinking my tea. I like that Biden is saying the same thing because that's what needs to be done. Maybe somebody's giving him the heads up on that the way to get the message through the thick skulls of the American people, the thick and busy skulls of the American people, is to just say the same thing over and over and over and over again. Yeah, Jared Moskowitz and Jasmine Crockett and Katie Porter and Dan Goldman and Jamie Raskin and who else? There's a whole bunch of them. Jared Moskowitz, for sure. He's great. Yes, Joe Biden talking about the traitors. I'm calling Trump a loser straight from Biden. Senator Whitehouse, yep. Jasmine Crockett. We got some really good Democrats. It's time to start writing them fan letters. Okay, so not the Supreme Court tomorrow. So tomorrow, 9:30 is it? You're on the Nebraska Prairie? Really? That must be nice. Yeah, Senator Whitehouse is the GOAT. Oh, just so you know, I'm gonna stop at 1 hour because I want to watch Midas Touch on Mondays. Definitely, I like to watch Midas Touch. You thought his blue suit looked rather nice? Oh, you're talking about when Jim Comer called him a Smurf? Let's read on Jim Comer. James Comer's fate. You having a blizzard right now in Nebraska? I know it's really, really, really... I know it's really disturbing. Thank you, Terry, because she put the question up there, and I'm just like, I'm thinking about people telling me there's Trump flags around them, and I think it's really disturbing that anybody, and I know it's a cult, but that anybody would look at Donald Trump and say, I want all my rights taken away. Yeah, I want that. I want all the people around me suffering from having somebody in office that doesn't care about anybody but himself. Yeah, I want that. I want somebody in office that in a deadly pandemic doesn't do anything and punishes people that aren't loyal to him and lets them die. It's so disturbing. So, James Comer. The Knight of Pentacles often indicates a subpoena. The Page of Swords is a message of a subpoena. It's also James Comer being on the defensive. The Queen of Pentacles. These two cards are paying us quite a visit tonight. The Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. This is the law. This is the law and the facts coming crushing down on Jim Comer. Yes. Crystal Blue Persuasion likes to engage with us all. I like to engage with you all. So Chuckin is waiting on appeal case to finish so case can move forward. That's tomorrow morning, right? This is James Comer on the defensive as the law and the facts come crushing down on him. He's trying to hang on, but it's not really working. That's what I get on him. So let's read on the Supreme Court. I'm gonna throw Warren Green a bone. Sorry. Because he threw up the question and I just didn't want to answer it. Is Elise Stefanik gonna win the election in 2024? No. I love seeing the question up there, how will the hearings go? Because now I have to go through my brain and figure out which one you're talking about. That was a Warren. Angela, you're doing a Warren on me. I got that. Tom has loved the Boston accent. It's hard to shake it. It's kind of everywhere where I live. Angela's saying, how will the hearings go? Thank you, Terry, for continually reminding me what the heck I was reading on. What hearings? Which ones? Oh my goodness. Hang on while I try to catch up with myself. Happy you were engaged with the chat. I keep changing topics. It's an occupational hazard. The fate of Jim Comer. Tomorrow. I'm not going to read on the Supreme Court just yet, so let's change that. Tomorrow. Will Trump get... Let's think about this. Let's think about this. This is what's making us all crazy, I swear. I know it's not just me. I know it isn't. Let's think this through. So, Trump expects to have immunity, which means, in his mind, because he was in the White House, he was a king, right? Right? He considered it a monarchy. Well, our founding fathers didn't like that. Loser. Yeah, okay, so Warren's confirming that. So the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia is tomorrow morning, and is it about whether Trump is immune, has immunity? Is that what it's about? Because, true confessions here, I lost track. Full disclaimer, I lost track. Which is why we have grassroots of democracy, so we can keep up. That's part of the reason. So I'm going to pull 3 cards and see what his fate's going to be. So he's basically claiming, and he's out there at his loser rallies, and he's out there claiming that he's angry that he can't do anything he wants and get away with it. That's in a nutshell. The loser is angry that he can't do whatever he wants and get away with it. The loser is angry that no matter what crime he commits, he thinks he should be able to get away with it. He said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it, because that's just his general attitude. So you guys are talking about Meet the Press? Oh, Kristen Welker is the worst. I can't even stomach her at all for a second. 91 counts. He's a criminal. So tomorrow what's going to happen, there's some kind of a delay or a we won't know tomorrow or something like, yeah. Is that what we're talking about, Warren? SCOTUS could refuse to hear the case. I'm talking about tomorrow. I'll just tell you what I'm getting, and then on Wednesday when we come back, we can go over the details. Oh, I'm so glad to see you too, Jay Cat Lady. Tomorrow's, oh, okay. So what I'm getting makes sense. Tomorrow is the oral argument, not decision time. So Trump shows up. I mean, loser shows up to that. I need a little help. I'm getting that it's just going to be, there's going to be a lot of, high emotions, but if there's a weight, we have to, he could show up. We'll take a look at that. I don't think he'll show up. I don't think he'll show up. Back to the Meet the Press topic. Keith Olbermann, I guess, somebody's saying, pointed out that Kristen Welker didn't push back. Very, very little. She pushed back very, very little, but it is true that NBC and the major networks, this is why I've read on this before. No, Trump won't show up. I've read on this before. The major news networks, all the major networks in the world are controlled by 6 corporations. And they're trying to control the entire population of the planet as much as they can. Will Trump show up? Will Trump show up tomorrow? No. Keith Olbermann has been great lately. Yeah, I know. Sometimes he's hard to listen to, but I mean, I do like where he's coming from. Very much. Anybody who's pro-democracy, SCOTUS has agreed to hear the Section 3 of Amendment 14 issue, but tomorrow's not about that. I'm telling you, people, this year it's going to be a little hard to keep up. So we just have to do the best we can. Join Grassroots of Democracy. I'm getting that Trump won't show up. But back to the Meet the Press discussion that we're having here. We're having several discussions at once. I apologize if you're new and can't keep up. It's not easy. So all the news media is controlled by 5 or 6 conglomerates. So when I did a reading on this recently, you might remember this, I don't know when it was. I did a reading recently on if that was going to change. And what I was talking about earlier, that MSNBC was actually maybe borrowing from Midas Touch, the Meiselas brothers, Ben Meiselas putting together this, okay, here's what the loser said. I'm saying that. Here's what the loser said. Here's what Biden said. That Morning Joe was doing that today, which I didn't see because I stopped watching them, but I've certainly written them enough emails. When I did a reading on, are people going to get the real news at some point? The actual news. And I did see a movement towards all the pro-democracy channels and podcasts and groups and all that. I did see a strong swing towards that. But prior to that happening, I saw the 3 of Swords, which means that the big conglomerate corporate media control behemoths would try to interfere. with this grassroots media, pro-democracy. They would try to interfere, but I didn't get that they would succeed. So anyway, Trump's not showing up tomorrow. I have this card on Trump showing up tomorrow. He doesn't know what to do. And by the way, reading on on the loser's energy, it's gonna take me a while to adjust. Warren, you're doing it again. We're gonna have to have a chat. You and I, we're gonna have to have a chat. It's all love. It's all love. It's just, the questions are just like, too big. The prosecutors are standing in line getting ready to metaphorically speaking, fire at Trump. When I read on the loser's energy, he's out of energy. I talked about that yesterday on the videos that I uploaded. He's out of energy. Let's look at one more thing, and then we're going to read some tea leaves, and we're going to go. Then there's the E. Jean Carroll case. And the thing about the E. Jean Carroll case is back in May, when he was ordered to pay $5 million to E. Jean Carroll, I did a double take because honestly, back in May 2023, I remember I was in Maine. You guys remember? When I heard $5 million to be paid to E. Jean Carroll, I was like, what? Because I saw him needing to pay E. Jean Carroll like $200 million. That was last year. It's going up. All right, tea leaves are coming. Please hit the thumbs up. If all of you hit the thumbs up, it will make my day. It really will. The E. Jean Carroll court said the loser was not immune. Yeah, I don't see how he could be. Oh, no, Jasmine's saying don't just watch the news and assume what they're saying is correct. Here's the thing. I've been a psychic. I've been doing this work for 30 years. I can tell when something's not true. I have a pretty good barometer for that. Of course, it's not 100% all the time, but I'm pretty sure. It would take a lot to talk me out of a psychic impression. I don't know if it could be done. So I know, and you probably know, you're perceptive, you're all intelligent people. You know when it's not real, when it's like Kristen Welker. I was like, when I saw her change her, like she used to be okay, and then I was like, what are you doing? You could feel it. Yeah, the loser doesn't have any energy right now, and Ruby and Shay are going to sue Donald Trump. And Rose is back. Where'd you go? I'm going to pick 3 cards. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick 3 cards for the week. Okay? Yeah, you have good BS meters, right? I have an excellent BS meter. And it makes me crazy when people think... Oh, speaking of people that are awful. If you have a desire to feel enraged, watch the interview, I guess it was on CNN, with Jay Ashcroft, the Republican from Missouri. I don't know what's going on in Missouri. They can't figure out somebody. Oh, Democracy Elf is over there. They haven't left yet. Their flight got delayed. No, he's over there. We'll talk about Democracy Elf in a second. 3 community cards. There are days when I just feel like there's just too much news. Too much news. I'm going to pull 3 cards for the week. We have to all be involved. Not really for the week, from now until Wednesday. Fast moving news. Sad. Looking at our past with sadness. But there are things that are good to look forward to. We're still mourning January 6th, and we're really even more so. We're mourning these people that are, talk about insult to injury. This is hard. This is the Eight of Cups. This is the past being, very, very, very sad. What we're mourning, in addition to the trauma that we just kind of relived on January 6th because we remember it, what's even, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up. What's even, in a certain way, it makes it even worse. It's even worse. That it's kind of like, it's this bad. It's like if something beloved or somebody beloved, something terrible happened, something bad happened, and you were just dealing with the trauma of it, and then someone comes along and goes, that never happened. Oh, that never happened. That terrible thing that you're mourning, that never happened. It's enough to just make you lose it. So that's what this is. This week we're dealing with that. But the Chariot indicates fast news about the loser that we're going to like. Fast news about the loser that we're going to like. But I want to also tell you all to be very patient this year. I know. I know the rest of the world is looking at us and looking at the loser and saying, what's going on, America? You guys have a pretty sweet deal. What's going on, America? I can feel the rest of the world looking at us like, what? The loser? The loser? Before we say goodnight, before I read the tea leaves, I am going to read the tea leaves. Don't leave yet. I'll be late for Midas Touch, but that's okay. I have misplaced my wand. Okay. The welcome 2024. I haven't erased this yet. My message for the year, the theme is Hope Restored. If you'd like to see the members only videos of predictions, become a member. You'll get an affirmation in your inbox every day. Great way to start the day. My offerings, a psychic tarot reading, tea leaf reading, spiritual life coaching, that will change your life. Free and paid classes and events. Go to psychicannetteDion.com. You got to put in the .com. I have a free class, but you have to go to my website to find it. Members of my channel receive an affirmation in their inbox daily. Please watch Church of Spirituality Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern. I had to do it on Saturday this week because of the storm. It will improve your life, I promise. And join Grassroots of Democracy. Go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Tomorrow night on Tuesdays, we have a guided meditation for Healed America. You get that guided meditation afterwards, too, in your inbox. And real quick, we have this week a lot of lucky things happening. Oh, look, it's a whale. There's a whale. This is big Jupiter. Good big Jupiter news. This is the cat. That's a positive sign, and it means be gentle with yourself. Big positive news. I see, believe it or not, I hate to say that I see a gun here, but what I see it more is like legislation. And what Trump said about people needing to get over the shooting in Iowa, that's going to kind of sink him, by the way. And I do see more talk about the mermaid. The mermaid and the reptiles. I mean, a lot of things that are going on in the loser, with the loser, are turning people off from him. Oh, Church of Spirituality is online on my channel. You see the gun too? I feel like that's more about legislation. So not to worry. I mean, we're always concerned about that. And I see there's a dog there that indicates loyalty. And I do see a rabbit too. So there's some, and since this is all in the section of the cup that's Jupiter, it's underneath there, you can't see it. I see a lot of big news, but it's good news. It's expansive. It's like more possibilities. Yeah, like the stupid pin they were wearing almost a year ago, the stupid AR-15. Yeah, it's right there. But I feel like this has more to do with discussions about gun laws. You see a deer? A deer means be gentle with yourself. PsychicAnnetteDion.com. Please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. Please share if it if you want. I understand it gets a little crazy sometimes and a little scattered. But I'm going to start doing videos that I upload on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So look for that. I'm all in on saving democracy. Thank you, Teresa. Church of Spirituality is wonderful. I'm all in on saving democracy. This is the most important year of your life. You've never been asked before to save freedom. Till now. All right? I mean, unless you were in the Revolutionary War, you've never been asked. This is the year. This is the year. And if you're of the generation that did all the protests that stopped the war in Vietnam and all that, I don't want to hear any of this. I already protested. No, that was training. You need to show the rest how to do it. Okay, I'll see you soon. Namaste. Come to Grassroots of Democracy, grassrootsofdemocracy.com. See ya.